Tweeting and tweeting until insanity.
That's how it is. Here we go. Hi. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune, I watch the pin move to shape the break roots. My crew makes moves, maneuver in the right direction. The rest of you get left behind and messed up in the session. I'm not trying to make a difference, maybe some pocket change.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to Drunkcast Live. Yeah. Episode 245. The Drunkcast album, Travis.
Dylan.
We're a podcast that takes place in Austin, Texas, Don's Depot. We like to have a few drinks and talk to interesting people about things that have happened over the week. You can find more at drunkcastlive.com or facebook.com/drunkcastlive, etc., etc. You can also find us on iTunes. And if you go to our main page, you can sign up for our newsletter, which is interesting, and you are interesting, so you'll get along swimmingly. This week we have two of our favorite people finally on the show together, and which is it's ironic because they're friends with each other. So this will either go one of two ways. We got Josh Strong coming back. DJ Yossi Fuerte. Hello, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm good.
That's great.
It is.
That's great. And across from me, we have Nick Canato. Canato? What? Why did I say that?
Let's call the whole thing off.
Yeah, okay. Episode 246.
Yeah.
We need a mulligan.
Nick Canato. Canato. I just don't I never say your last name, and I got freaked out. How's it going, Nick?
It's going well. Glad to be back.
It's been a second for Nick. It's been a second for both of you. So at the same time, tell us what you've been doing for the last couple episodes.
Go for it.
Between the last episode, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So working a lot. So last time I was on the show, I explained that I'd start working for We Are Blood, the blood center serving Central Texas. And
What's your role there again?
I lead the team that goes and recruits companies, communities, churches, and schools to hold mobile blood drives. So half the blood that we supply to the area comes from our centers. We have one in Round Rock, in North Austin, and South Austin. And then we set up mobile drives, so buses are inside companies and things like that.
Excellent.
So been really busy putting drives together. It's really important over the holidays. Everyone's on vacation, so people donate less, but it's an even more important time because people tend to get into accidents and things like that over the holidays. Go figure.
For sure. I'd also like to I'd like to spend some time on this show focusing on it and like actually take it out because the more and more I hear about what blood donations actually like and how few units you actually get is appalling to me, and it drives me fucking nuts and makes me sad. So I'd like to take sometime during the show to just like literally just fucking nail it out and just shove it on Facebook and tell people because there's fucking blood is very, very important, it turns out.
Sure.
And the turnout should be higher. But I think the turnout can be higher if people know the turnout's not higher. So
Definitely. Well, I appreciate that.
It's amazing stuff that you're doing.
Thanks.
Josh, what have you been up to?
Nothing that good.
Tough
No,
act to follow. Yeah.
Not saving lives.
yeah, not saving lives. Being terrified to donate blood, pretty much, is my whole aesthetic.
Well, we're all donating mid-show.
Oh shit! Just take it. Yeah. So I guess the last time I was here was March for South by.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
It's been that long? Wow.
I think so. Yeah, I've done a lot since then. I did a lot of did some my first original songs in a really long time. So not just mashups. I did a lot of those too, but wrote some original stuff. Turned one into a remix, and because I was just like, I want to see what this sounds like. I loved it. So
Cool.
Fuck with that. Yeah, it's been great. Making a lot of music, and just not giving blood, basically.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Definitely. Yeah.
So your new tunes, are they available someplace for the kids to hear?
Yeah, actually, I think I've
SoundCloud.
changed things a million times because you have to. I'm on Soundhouse, SOWNDHAUS.audio. They were formerly soundhouse.com, but they got I don't know, they get a cease and desist or something. They got something where basically they had enough copyright claims where
They just moved to Denmark.
well, they got shut down. Like it was actually kind of interesting because without any I just went to my site one day and it wasn't there, and I was like, and they tweet, and not very often, but I saw a tweet that was like, hey, we moved. We'll tell you where we're moving soon, and all your login information will stay the same and everything. But so all my old links are broken, which sucks. So I need to start aggressively posting new links to stuff. But yeah, it was their whole thing is they were made by, I think they're servers in Canada where they have a slightly different law regarding fair use. And their whole thing is like, we're for mashup artists. Like, we believe our works are transformative. We believe it falls under fair use. And it's not like no one's putting, like, the community itself, like SoundCloud is kind of like YouTube in that like a lot of people will just put other people's songs up there so they can listen to them, I guess, in the car. Yeah. I don't really know why they do it, but and, yeah, I don't know why.
It's good to know your market.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why you do that. It's weird. SoundCloud is a whole different entity now. than it was originally. But yeah, I'm rambling. But yeah, long story short, too late. Fair use, copyright stuff, laws, all those things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to
Or
have
is it? I don't know.
it's great to have you both back on the show. It's great to have you both on because you guys have known each other for a pretty long time.
Yeah, I mean, we've been friends for probably close to 15 years now.
Yeah,
Thereabouts,
yeah.
It all started at a little restaurant called Hills Cafe on South
A little restaurant.
South
called-
Congress, rather.
Mhm.
And on my first day, I show up and I'm eager and
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
yeah, exactly, ready to rock. And
I was his Jedi master.
yeah,
Mhm.
he was actually my trainer on my first day at work there.
Oh yeah,
But it was also, so they had just changed the processes by which we were training. And so normally it was like you get 5 days of training and you have 5 different trainers and you rotate and do different stuff. And this was the time they had just implemented a procedure of like, here's your handbook, here's what you're going over on day one.
We had to
before you-
bunk together.
Yeah. we emerged brothers, but but it was like, it was the weirdest thing because we felt like he was in training for, I don't know. It was longer than 5 days though. It was,
I'm slow.
yeah. The joke is that he's still in training to this day, even though he's definitely, obviously not. He's had vampire now, so. But yeah, it was great. He was one of the few people I feel like I met him. I met my wife and a couple of like Jason Perrine, a couple other people that like one of the people I actually stayed in touch with because we worked with like 200 different people. Because at any restaurant, you just have a person that shows up for like one day of training and then disappears.
yeah.
So between those and the people that actually stayed, it's like it's interesting. Like, oh shit, 15 years later, like this is actually sweet. It's fucking great.
It's stuck.
Yeah, turns out.
All thanks to Hills, right?
Yeah, no, hey, it's I owe it a lot actually.
I credit Bob Cole, actually.
Yeah, Bob Cole.
K-Vet.
Do you guys know Bob Cole?
Say
He's
no
a
more.
radio.
So Sam and Bob
yeah.
used to have like the number one, one of the number one like morning call-in shows, and they were famous for like not ever screening their callers. Like they had a delay. You just call in and say whatever you wanted.
In Austin.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would also, you get like guys who were like, Bob, I went into your store the other day. I went into Hills and those waiters, man, they just don't know what they're doing. And so you'd go into work and you'd be like, all right, guys, who fucking waited on this guy?
We're always just like, hey,
Yeah.
any press is good press, right?
And Bob Cole had this kind of radio voice. It sounds like this. You'll still hear him on the double M AMCO or whatever, the Gotta Get Mako or AMCO. Or,
Okay, yeah.
He does a lot of local commercials.
I think we missed a step, though, that Bob owned it.
Yeah. Sorry.
at that time.
Bob owned Bob Cole owned this.
Okay.
Hills Cafe.
I didn't know if it was the call-in or the caller was wrong, or by context that he did own it. But I mean,
No, he did.
Yeah, sorry.
because
Yeah,
that'd be
he
a
did.
crazy non sequitur. It's like, you know what? You're a radio host and you probably own Hills Cafe. Let me complain about a waiter that I don't remember, so you can do nothing.
That's pretty much it. But that was their go-to move if they had a displeasing dinner or meal. They would be
Sure.
like, well, I'm going to call on Bob Cole and talk to Bob Cole
Open
about
booth,
this.
walk in anytime. Caller, go ahead.
That's ridiculous. It's so insane.
No, that's fun. I guess this week, it's going to be really hard to not talk about Trump stuff. It's going to be really hard to not talk about. Try as hard as we can every episode to not talk about Trump
I
stuff.
feel like you've been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I
We've
think
been trying.
I'm mostly caught up,
Yeah,
and I feel like every once you always have the like, oh shit, we're doing it.
yeah. Well, it spills out.
Yeah. Oh,
Just like Trump, according to his. Wait, no, his medical record said that he's in perfect health, right?
Which was actually signed by a doctor who spelled his name wrong.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
The best and brightest.
Wait,
Yeah,
Trump
yeah.
or his own name?
Ronnie Hill. I was
Whatever.
just looking at that.
Millsap. No, the
Bob Cole.
naval
Bob
doctor
Cole, yeah.
who did the physical. The White House put out a press statement saying, according to the doctor, he's in excellent health. Signed, Dr. Ronnie, whatever his name is, but they spelled Ronnie wrong.
Mhm.
So it wasn't a quote from the doctor. It was from the White House saying the doctor said this.
Yes. Yeah.
But then spelled his name wrong for
Correct.
plausible deniability.
Oh, no, they spelled his name wrong because
Yeah, no, I
clearly
see.
they're making it up.
I see.
Man. He's ready. You're ready for 2018.
Oh,
man.
dude, midterms, baby.
Yeah.
All right, so we already broke the rule of not talking about Trump. But I mean, there's probably going to be some more of that there. And you guys have interesting opinions of Star Wars, so there might be a reason during
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Fighting 3 to talk about it.
Okay.
And Star Trek.
If you want to,
Yeah.
and some other things that are going on. But aside from that, Dylan, what's something cool that's happened in 2018 so far? This is a new
Nothing.
segment I'm trying. Okay,
Nothing.
next
Wow.
segment.
Double deuce.
Well, all right.
Nothing cool has happened that I'm aware of.
How was your weekend off from the show?
I had one.
Yeah, I mean that was in Jamaica.
I've had allergies. I don't know anything.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You got any good allergy drugs?
Yeah, I'm packing right now.
Cool. I
Yeah.
need decongestant. So
Yeah, I got some Zyrtec D in my pocket.
I was gonna wait till the third segment for that, but
Stacked.
No, honestly, it's just been very, very slow past couple. Past like month or so. It's been kind of relaxing and chill. And it's like we've been off. You were on vacation for a bit.
Mhm.
Holidays, chilling.
Cool.
Yeah, been hanging out. I've been enjoying my new stereo quite a bit. So that's been.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
go on.
Yeah.
For Christmas, I spent too much money on myself.
Nice.
Well, that's
Hell
not
yeah.
true. Never too much for myself, but I did spend too much money.
Yeah.
I'm worth it, goddammit. No, I bought a really nice, nice receiver and some great speakers, and just been listening to a lot of music and enjoying it.
Yeah.
That's literally the best thing I've heard this year so far.
It's been nice, and actually is a reason for people to put music on YouTube. That's really how I listen to almost all my music.
Yeah. No. I figured it was something like that.
Okay. Well,
So you just need to have your own YouTube channel, like listen to all your songs.
I actually do have. That's a thing. I forgot. I put a song on YouTube
There you go.
because I was original, so I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
oh right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know how people do it, but there'd be a whole show of just me like ranting about like I don't understand why they get by with it, but like
Because they don't try to monetize their channels.
Right.
I'm not trying to monetize mine,
Then
man.
you can get away with a lot.
All right. But I mean, I definitely want to monetize my channel, so I should probably not go that way.
Then yeah. That's something else that's been great. YouTube Red, worth it.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
So fucking worth it.
I thought about that because I got PlayStation View and cut the cord in 2018. Oh no, right at the end of 2017. But I thought about getting YouTube Red.
Well, YouTube Red is just for
Yeah.
YouTube with no ads, basically. There's no,
Oh, that's
yeah,
not the YouTube TV.
there's no TV component.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
separate.
Well, no, it includes the original content, obviously, but without ads, and then it also includes Google Play Music subscription.
But it's not like TV channels. That's
right,
YouTube
right,
TV.
right, yeah.
Okay,
YouTube,
I'm sorry.
But you can get all like the.
I didn't know YouTube TV was a thing. Actually,
It is, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
There's a couple shows, right? Well, I imagine there's more than a couple, but there's like a couple of like notable.
The YouTube originals programming?
Yeah.
That's totally separate. Yeah, that's part of YouTube Red. Yeah.
Okay.
There are a handful. I don't really watch any of them. Adam was talking about one a couple weeks ago. That was all right. The Ryan Hansen Solves Crimes or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But man, and that Logan Paul kid, apparently he had a thing.
Oh, yeah,
He sure did.
that's been fascinating to watch on Twitter. Like I since we spoke last, I've like basically live on Twitter. I'm just obsessed with.
So, give us some context for the Logan Paul thing.
So he has a show. I mean, I'm not really sure what he does.
He's got a YouTube.
He's a content creator,
Yeah,
I
on
guess.
YouTube.
Basically means he like runs around like an asshole and films
Yes.
it. And he went to the Japanese suicide
Suicide
forest
forest.
and filmed the body and didn't really. He was like, "Oh no, look, we found one."
Yeah.
And
I
was
think
like,
his friends
"I'm
were
so
and them were
surprised."
laughing about it.
Yeah,
too.
well, and they didn't
Yeah.
blur the body. Like it was all very sloppily done. But like the rest of him running around Japan was like fucking terrible as well. Like he's a garbage person.
Oh, he's terrible at everything. Yeah.
But the weird thing is, that's definitely obviously what people want to see is people being assholes all the time.
There sadly is a giant market for that. Yes.
Yes. Well, and this guy too, didn't he also have multiple contracts with YouTube to create brand new content?
Yeah,
and
he actually
they all got
was.
pulled, right?
He was under contract to actually produce an original show for YouTube Red.
Yeah, and that-
but
and that's all
they
dead.
after this they said, we're gonna hold back a minute.
Cool. That's fun.
But they haven't cut off his channel though.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it,
I don't know if that it went that far.
Well,
I
no.
don't
The
know.
only reason I bring that up is because the conversation we've had on the show in the past, we've had you were talking. Who's the guy you like a lot?
Philip DeFranco.
Yeah, who was like they threatened to kill him completely. And like,
Wait, who?
Philip DeFranco?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So YouTube has very curious morality standards.
Well, I mean,
Like,
I'm sure there's
If
fine
you say
print.
something, well, no, if you say something that Philip DeFranco got cut off. What was his thing again? It was the reason that they shut him down for demonetized him.
I actually don't even remember.
Oh.
But it was YouTube is trying to stray away from people having controversial attitudes or conversations at all. And you get demonetized for it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I'm throwing this out there as a parallel. It was something like, I don't see why that thing was feminist or not feminist. It was something along those lines where you can see things different ways. It shouldn't necessarily be discredited as one or the other right away. And that was his whole point was
Right.
it's not as simple as black and white. my opinion is we can look at this a couple different ways. They said, "Fuck you, that's controversial. You're fucking
Right.
Now, he came back. They brought him back. I guess they demonetized him for like a month or something, and then this Logan Paul dude, there's a real dead body. Look, he's dead. Stupid.
Yeah.
They haven't cut him off. They just scolded him and said he can't do an original show for now.
They're definitely. I feel like I saw them
fascinating.
looking
Well,
for.
his apology was still monetized. He made a shitload of money off of it.
Yeah.
And that caused more backlash.
What, did you guys see the Mario Batali apology with like an attached cinnamon roll recipe?
No.
Like, 'cause he
Oh,
has
I
a-
heard about that.
Yeah. Like, and I thought it was another. This is the
Yeah.
thing. We're living in a time where I genuinely can't tell if it's like we were talking about reductress and all this
Yeah.
other stuff. Like, I
can't
have to
tell
like
anymore.
triple check stuff because I'm like somebody tweeted like I made the cinnamon rolls from Mario Batali's apology letter, and I was like, ha, that's a good one. And I clicked the link and I'm like, oh shit, he fucking really put a fucking recipe in his apology. Like that's
Wow.
I wouldn't have called that as being an actual thing.
Poe's law.
Wow.
Wait, what's Poe's law?
Poe's law is when something's so ridiculous and absurd that it's either sarcasm or completely true,
Yeah.
or it's either satire or completely true. That's why r/not the onion is a thing, and it's a pretty popular subreddit because this shit happens all the time. Sean Spicer says Oprah Winfrey doesn't have the political experience to be president. If you have told someone that there was going to be an article anywhere, like this is from, I don't see the actual whatever, that was someday, you'd be like, we would be super confused to think of Oprah Winfrey actually having this conversation with Sean Spicer. But like that's real. It's a real thing. That's what 2018 is already giving us.
Well, and like towards the end of 2017, when like people were like saying like Tumblr docs Drill, and like, do you guys know about Drill?
No.
Drill is like he's a random like he just tweets insane stuff, and like everyone's like, but it's like sort of not profound, but just weird enough that people are like, holy shit, this is fucking great, and like a bunch of people followed him because it's like obviously like somebody's old grandfather that doesn't know how to use Twitter or a fucking genius. And but like the phrase Tumblr
What if
docs
it wasn't
drill,
a mushroom?
like
Yeah.
try and explain to your grandmother what the
it
phrase
is.
Tumblr docs drill mean. Like 'cause you have to explain the meaning of the word docs, the significance of it, what Tumblr is, and who drilled. And it's just like it's three words that completely explain a situation that is true but are utterly meaningsless outside of any kind of context.
That's
I think that's the whole year we should just strap in for.
Well, I will say that I was seeing screenshots of the emergency announcement for Hawaii today with the
Yeah.
ballistic missile thing.
That was real,
That was-
unfortunately.
And I was seeing the screenshots for it saying like, oh, this is interesting. It's not particularly funny, but and then I see that it's actual news and it
Yeah.
did happen.
Yeah,
Can
it
you
happened.
imagine the fear?
Oh, they didn't tell him for
fear
40.
that
They didn't get the thing
Yeah.
for 40 minutes. They didn't tell him that it wasn't a drill. So like people were literally running like
in the streets crying.
yeah. This girl was saying like I saw a bunch of tweets about it today, and like this one woman like was taking a nap and she woke up and she had all these frantic texts from her family and they were all like hiding in the garage. I mean, it's just terrible. And Trump, thank God, was on the golf course and not near anything that could.
Yeah, and his first tweet was about the media. And
Yeah, I
that
still don't
book.
think he's adjusted.
Yay! Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Fake news genes. You see that?
in more positive news, you can watch all 7 Harry Potters on HBO right now.
Fuck yeah, you can. And I did last week.
Yeah, didn't you post something? If you
Fuck
have
yeah.
HBO, you're not watching Harry Potter. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
or
what are you
something like
doing with your fucking life?
Well,
I mean, they released it New Year's Eve weekend, so
Yeah.
New Year's Day.
It was great.
It's
Josh
a no-brainer.
also live Facebooked, I'm assuming tweeted, all Fast and Furious movies in a row, too.
I actually didn't tweet them because my followers, I knew my followers on Twitter would not give a shit, and I would definitely annoy my friends on Facebook with it.
Well, and I
And
enjoyed
you
a comment on one of your posts that saying, "I like that you're using Facebook as
As
Twitter,
Twitter.
right now."
Yeah.
Like, yup, innovating for 2018, y'all.
Flip mode.
Flip mode of greatest.
Let's take a break and we'll come back with more show.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
You'll notice I left at 10 last night on purpose.
Yeah, that was smart. That was really smart.
Deep groove and the night's new. What a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam boom rock. We're here to rock you.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah!
Segment 2, the Double Deuce. Still hanging out with Dylan, still hanging with Nick, still hanging with Josh. We're watching a lot of other Red Letter Media. I love these guys. And I forget how much they just do the faces so well.
Oh yeah.
And it just kills me. Because the Han Solo movie, I guess, is still coming out.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen anything about it.
Nothing. Not
When
even a
is it
trailer.
coming out? When is it coming out?
May
Oh,
20-something.
There's my other beer.
Not even a trailer. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing at all. So that's cool.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. That's usually the sign of any good movie. But I don't know. Like I haven't seen this latest Star Wars, The Last Jedi. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching them guess, for some reason.
Are we talking about the last Star Wars movie?
Not-
or are we saving that for later?
Gotta be next segment, right?
Yeah, we can wait till it's time to fight, I guess. But
Yeah, we haven't heard
Right.
shots yet.
Dylan wants to fight.
yeah, he's hankering for it.
let's take a shot.
Well, because I know it's bad.
Clickety click cluck. Cheers.
Ooh, that one's spicy.
What'd you have?
Same thing.
Oh, good.
Not actually spicy. Just actually sweet, but
Yeah. Okay.
The complete opposite. of it.
sweeter than normal. So never mind.
Hangover Bros.
Yeah.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
Did you wear your hangover? Fuck, I wore my hangover.
Actually, so because he came over earlier because picking up firewood for maybe come over to the
Oh, from IKEA?
from IKEA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't actually have to put it together.
M's.
Apparently,
Yeah.
you just set it afire.
Particle board burns really easily.
You have to use miniature Death Star technology to get it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get one of those at IKEA too.
Yeah.
No, I saw you wearing the 3-pence moon shirt, and I almost just went inside and then put my 3-pence moon shirt on too because I just love this shit.
Oh, for
So-
funsies.
So I have. Well, I had two because I got one and it had like a little like thing on the Trump moon. It had like a little discoloration, print.
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And so I contacted them and they very, very quickly sent me a replacement. I was like, do you need me to send the old one? They're like, no, do whatever you want with it. And I was like, all right.
Threadless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so their customer service was great. And then
Nice.
I was wearing this at my buddy's bachelor party. And one of my friends saw it and was like, that's the fucking greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, I've got another one. Do you want it? And he was like, are you fucking with me? I'm like, no. And it took me like 20 minutes to find it in my tiny like 1940s closet, but I couldn't find it. It was, like, pushed back or something. I gave it to him and we both wore him around all night and was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're like, oh no, 3-pence moon, dude. 3-pence moon.
Bachelor party.
If you want to know more about this, you can go to contentpending.com and check out our web store for our Drunkcast things because the 3-pence moon shirt, it's Adam Waters who did the design and I love it so fucking much. If you don't have a Josh, go buy yourself one and then he'll give you a shirt.
Maybe.
Maybe. But thanks for repping that shirt because it's very nice.
Fuck yeah.
We had a nice little Home Depot run.
Yes.
Yeah.
No tamales, unfortunately.
No tamales. Yeah, sorry about that, bud.
It's okay. I didn't have cash anyway.
Apparently, like Gumbo Man that I've talked about before in New Orleans, Gumbo Man or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
There's a
Tamale man equivalent.
tamale lady that hangs out at Home Depot. That
I was walking by. She was like, Molly? And I was like, no, I don't need Molly from a... Oh, tamales. Yeah, no, for sure.
yeah, all day. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have cash.
I will eat those from a stranger.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, every time. I don't know what else is up. I mean, we could talk about Trump. I mean, if we want to talk about Trump now as the actual option.
It's
I mean,
2018, man.
yeah, 2080.
Oh,
Yeah.
too soon.
That's a
Yeah,
shithole joke.
Stay
Yeah.
all Bates, yeah. Actual quote from our president.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was a fun day on the news networks, though. Like watching CNN, like shithole. And I was just like, it's like that time that
When South Park was
South
able
Park
to say
said shit like 196 times or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was here for it. It was great.
Brave New World. Does that mean they can say it forever? Or it's just because it's a quote?
It's a quote, so yeah.
Okay.
I was watching news and like all day on the lower third, shithole.
Mhm.
Not bleeped out, just right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're
We're here, guys.
That's how
living.
it is,
We're
yeah.
living through a very curious time in history, and one thing you don't really get from reading history books is the sheer misery of the people who are living through those times.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Sure.
really, really horrible living right now.
We made it. We made it to a point in time that we'll never forget or never not live to remember.
Yeah, one of the things I saw online was they'll make movies about this time in history, but they will never capture how stupid it was. Like, there's no way that anything will ever convey how utterly ridiculous this all was.
So if there was a movie, let's say there's a movie 20 years ago about what's happening right now, let's say 10 years from now, who would you want to direct it? Because
Ron Howard.
I'm going with Mike Judge.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I want Mike Judge to direct
Beavis and Butthead.
a comedy. No, I mean like
Idiocracy.
Idiocracy. Yeah.
No, man, Oliver Stone.
Steve-
Mid-1980s Oliver Stone. Well,
I mean-
super conspir theory Oliver
See,
Stone.
sadly, it's going to be Werner Herzog, and it's going to be
It
depressing
fucking
as all
better
get out.
Yeah.
It's just going to be the scene with the
American
penguin
fallacy.
walking alone off on the. Did you see the documentary on Antarctica that he did?
No.
So there's a scene in it where he's filming a penguin that's like left his tribe and is walking off in the distance without any destination in mind. And Werner Herzog has this great monologue about what is going through his
This
mind.
penguin is walking away. He will never join his friends ever again.
That's
He's
actually
going to die.
That's the real quote.
I'm sure. Yeah.
That is the real
Just
quote.
like life, it is pointless.
Life is short, life is shit, and soon it will be over.
Here's the clip. I need to see if I can actually find the penguin
Is
section.
there such thing
there it is.
as insanity among penguins? I try to avoid the definition of insanity or derangement. I don't mean that a penguin might believe he or she is Lenin or Napoleon Bonaparte. But could they just go crazy because they've had enough of their colony?
Honestly, we just used that monologue with a picture of Trump, and it worked.
That's great.
No.
Well, so this is a great opportunity for me to
One of them caught our eye, the one in the center. He would neither go towards the feeding grounds at the edge of the ice, nor return to the colony.
See?
That's great.
Shortly afterwards, we saw him heading straight towards the mountains, some 70 kilometers away. Dr. Ainley explained that even if he caught him and brought him back to the colony, he would immediately head right back for the mountains.
Hit me.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Me in real life, yeah.
This is a perfect
2018.
opportunity for me to tell you about my new Twitter handle, which is Werner Herzfrog.
Yeah.
And it is the quotes of Werner Herzog mashed up with the quotes of Kermit the Frog. It's worthless, and there's only about 4 tweets. But I can use if I get followers, I might actually tweet more. Because it's just me toggling between my different Twitter accounts, liking each other. So that's I basically am that penguin.
Walking toward the mountain.
If we combined the accounts, it would still only
Still walk away, only be seen by one person.
liking himself into oblivion.
Retweeting endlessly.
The retweets go all the way down.
It's true.
Retweeting until insanity.
I love him because he's in. You guys have seen Jack Reacher, right?
I have
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I have not.
I love it.
That's the one where they try to kill Hitler, right?
No,
Yes.
what? No. Yes, absolutely. But like Werner Herzog is like the bad guy, and he's like,
I chewed my fingers off in a Siberian prison. I want you to do it or I'll shoot you in the head.
and it's just he's fucking phenomenal. He's the best part of that movie for sure.
Paul F. Tompkins does a great Werner Herzog character, and I'm not going to try to find the best one, but I'll see that between the breaks because he understands it. If you know Paul F. Tompkins, he understands the pain of that kind of very sad Arnold Schwarzenegger to me.
Yeah, the only thing I've
Thank
seen
you for
that's,
sharing that, Nick.
yeah.
Oh, of
That was
course,
great.
yeah.
That was worth it for sure.
Yeah, the one thing I've seen positive recently, Dave Letterman just did his new thing on Netflix. Interviewed Barack Obama.
Yeah, what the show's called? My guest needs no
introduction, yeah.
I haven't tried it yet. Did you like it?
I loved it. For one thing, Daddy was back. An hour of Obama talking was wonderful.
Yeah.
Plus, I love Beardy Letterman.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a really good interview. The one thing that really was sticking out, that was kind of make me tear up a little bit, was just the absolute juxtaposition of character. Previous president, current president, just the way that they could compose themselves and talk about anything. It's like, what the fuck did we do? How did we go from one extreme to the other? It's bizarre as fuck to just think about in the context of that guy was here a year ago. Holy shit, what happened?
Yeah.
One person can complete a sentence and have a rational thought and look at the world from a grand view of things.
Well, and Josh and I were talking about this, and Nick and I were all talking about this the last couple of years. We've been all talking about it. Ben Hellman is a friend of ours, very politically minded, and was already upset about everything before we even started the Trump era.
Before birth, really.
Before birth, probably, yeah. But really clever thing, and he grew up in the area on the East Coast where he saw the different kinds of personalities that would never, ever, ever, ever vote for a Barack Obama because Barack Obama looks like an expert. Every time, Dust Bowl, the Bible Belt, anyone who comes from these like coal mining towns, the people who broke their backs, don't trust doctors, don't trust people who work in a university, no matter what they are, especially not professors. They don't trust lawyers or politicians because they didn't work hard for their jobs.
Well, and I hate to interject, but it's
Yeah.
that whole clickbait culture thing about, you see those ads and they're like, dermatologists hate them. And like, how is that like
Yeah,
a selling
yeah,
point?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a selling point
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're aiming at a group that feel
Yeah.
screwed over in some way by experts or
Yeah.
people who make a lot of money
I
or
don't trust them
charging
doctors.
a lot for their services. So if this ad is saying that I'm getting around them somehow, then I'm into it. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And Barack Obama is the ostensibly. I mean, I want to say that
He's
he's
a
probably.
constitutional law professor. I mean, of course, he's
Of course, he's
all those
a
things.
perfect politician. Perfect. I mean, like I'm going to say that he's probably the best president I'm going to see in my lifetime.
Oh, it can only go down from here for sure.
Well, I don't even mean that. Like we might.
Well, you've
even
only
have-
got like 2 years left, maybe.
Yeah, before it's
oh
all
yeah,
done.
I don't think we're getting out of this year. I'm not with the
That's the
missile
spirit.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't.
It's why they're not advertising for Solo.
Wow, you blew up.
Fucking-
Disney realizes the end is already here.
Nice.
There's- Wow.
Yeah. Why spend the money?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you think we're getting at episode 9? You're fucking dreaming.
Right. They just stopped casting for everything. Actually.
Yeah. I think they should do a Lando movie while we're at it.
They're like, we got to kill Snoke now.
Right.
Spoilers, by
We
the
don't
way.
have time.
Yeah, spoiler. Sorry,
No
sorry.
time.
The day before the nukes go off, they're going to tell us they're going to recast and reshoot the old trilogy and the new trilogy, and it's going to be. Wait, who would direct those? Who would be the worst person to direct those? Not George Lucas.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Wait, is he a director or is that just
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
In the apocalypse, he is.
Yeah.
sure? Yeah, of course.
He directed the Entourage movie.
Hey, Jabba.
Hey.
I lost a cargo. What are you going to do about it? I'll pay you back.
You will be. You will be.
You will. You will.
Chewie.
By whom?
It's just so now is Mark Wahlberg playing every single
You got
character?
this
too?
hyperdrive, Chewie.
It's like the thing. It's like the murder party thing. There
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go. Except it's a callback.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark Wahlberg as
That's all I got.
Chewbacca.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Like what? Okay.
No, repeat it. No. That's scary.
Yeah. Well, the type of person, there's always going to be anti people with
They're always going to
brain.
be. I mean, look, Obama was
reasoned thoughts
Obama
in
was
their
put
heads.
together. He had what appeared to be a perfect relationship with his wife. You know,
He loves his
he
wife.
loves his. They love the shit out of each other. You
Yeah.
know, like even through all the stress, it seemed like they were pretty much okay. Like he smoked. You know, which
Oh,
is,
in the genuine friendship between him and Biden, like,
oh yeah, fuck yeah, man.
Oh, did you see the thing that happened recently where like I don't know if did Obama tweet it? Like it was like Obama and Biden like redid it or like made their own Biden meme or something or like
Yeah, for Biden's birthday. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like, yeah. Yeah, it's my birthday or whatever. Yeah, it was great. It was like Obama tweeted. I'm like, oh shit, dude, he gets memes. Fuck yeah, like I mean, at this point, if we're just gonna be electing whoever, like I want my next president to like appreciate meme culture.
Oprah
you know?
2020, baby.
I don't think she gets the memes, dude. I really
I don't care. I'd vote for her. I would.
I mean, I definitely I can't imagine.
Just imagine her tax plan. We all get cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd vote for Ellen, but she's deep state, so you know.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Here's the tweet. There's a picture of him standing, of course, yeah.
God, it's fucking great.
Joe, about halfway through my speech, I'm going to wish you a happy, it's my birthday!
Joe.
Joe.
Joe. I love it.
Yeah, that's so sad. I mean, like, because it's so sweet at the end. Happy birthday, Joe Biden, my brother and the best vice president anyone can have.
It's like the last episode of Lost.
Like the
It was
last-
all about the characters.
We've been dead the whole time.
No, they weren't dead the whole time. Don't give me. That's for the next segment. They were not dead the whole time. They were in a place without time, so it didn't matter that they'd all died in different times.
We're gonna fight in 3 then.
I'm telling you, I've been waiting.
Live together, die alone.
I already got like the last. What did I do as soon as I saw Chris Lloyd? I was like, hey, want to talk to you about your Navy shit.
Well, because Chris Lloyd is wrong about everything all the time, always. So he deserves to be fought.
He does it with style, though, man.
Yeah.
If you're out there, Chris.
He's listening.
Oh, I know. He's gonna put this in the newsletter, I'm sure.
Oh wait, what the fuck is?
Yeah, there's
I don't even know.
noise thoughts.
Brain fight.
Oh Jesus. I don't
My
know.
inner monologue was just too much. Sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. Let's take a break and figure out what's going on with this, and we'll get back over this. Bye.
Dusty bricks, bitters, mix, bitter caps, split riches.
Too
So
soon.
is Last Jedi the movie for 2018?
Yeah,
Actually,
I think it is. Yeah.
Sewing my name on the quilt. Great. Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, segment 3. It's the Fighting 3. Have an opportunity to fight.
Last Jedi sucked. Go.
Yeah.
I love The Last Jedi. I
I
enjoyed it. Now, I was 3 beers deep, so that may have had a thing, but I don't think that was it. I really enjoyed it.
I was completely sober and coming down with the flu, and I enjoyed it as well.
So
I
one
like this.
person
This
was
is a good scientific. This is a good laboratory.
So
Good-
one person
Yeah.
was sick.
Yeah.
One person was drunk.
I wasn't drunk. I was just drinking.
No, he said 3 beers. That means his hangover was
Well,
gone.
How many edibles had you had?
None that day.
How many vapes had you smoked?
I mean, like
How high were you? You
Oh,
were
no,
drunk and high.
no, actually, no. That was the thing. I was walking into the theater and I was like, "Fuck! I forgot to get high." I remember thinking, I was like, "God damn it! Like,
So-
I'm so bad at this."
My Last Jedi experience is a little interesting because my staff, who I said go out and recruit for blood drives all around
Yeah.
Central Texas,
Yeah.
come to me and they're like, "Can we, instead of having a Christmas party, just go see Last Jedi together?" And I was like, "We could definitely do that." So on a Wednesday morning, we went and watched Last Jedi at Alamo Drafthouse Mueller, and I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it.
So
I wasn't offended by anything.
I've seen it twice now.
Oh, okay.
First time I watched it, I walked out of the movie going, "Did I not like that? I can't quite tell." Then I thought about it a lot. We talked on this show a couple times. Then I went back and watched it again just a couple days ago. It is empirically not a good movie in the sense of how you make movies
So,
and how you tell stories.
okay, so what is the thing that bothered you the most about the?
So many things. So many things.
Well, like, what was its biggest sin, for instance?
Breaking its own universe's rules.
How?
Several times. Fuel for one. Technology that never existed before. Cloaking devices for another. The fact that whenever a Star Destroyer shows up, it is incapable of firing a cannon at anything ever. It requires weird special tech. Earlier movies, the whole point of a Star Destroyer in the universe was one ship could control an entire system because it was that powerful. In this version, and The Force Awakens was guilty of this as well. Ship shows up, it can't fire a gun. It has to have a convoluted plot. Okay, so there's that. Let's talk about the humor, your mom jokes. No, thank you.
That was your mom joke?
I missed
Yeah.
that.
Oh, at the very beginning
Yeah.
when Poe Dameron flies in.
Yeah. Because he's doing
Hey,
he's like.
I'm
did you
calling
leave the
for
refrigerator
General
running?
Hugs, please. General Hugs.
Right.
I have a message for your mom. Then there's bombs can't be dropped in space.
So I'm not bothered by any of that.
Yeah,
Because
none of that bothered me.
well, for the first part, I mean, like lightsabers shouldn't function as they do if we're using any kind of logic about dropping bombs in space.
No, because lightsabers have
It could have been magnetic. I assumed they were magnetic or something.
if they had only said that.
But I mean, I feel like
But
you could,
that's the point.
But I don't feel like you have to be like, these bombs are magnetic. But I hate when people over-explain
Drop
stuff.
the
like-
magno bombs.
Yeah, like, make sure you drop the magnetic ones, because we're in space, guys.
Yes,
Like,
because there's no gravity in space.
no, I know, but
They
like,
literally that whole scene is dependent on the fact there's gravity going to drop bombs onto a thing.
well,
It's
but
like-
I've told you
Yeah,
before
but
though.
I mean,
that,
there's
like,
not even
okay,
supposed to be
okay.
sound in space.
Okay, so I haven't seen the movie.
and there are space ninjas.
No, okay. So you can
Wait, what are you talking about?
Hold on. You can get to that point, but I just want to like.
oh, this is getting good.
Now, I can mediate here. To be fair, we've never seen anything float in space in the Star Wars universe, right?
Princess Leia, apparently.
Did she float? Oh well, she flew.
Yeah,
she
she floated.
She
then
fluted.
Flew back.
she floated.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
She flawed.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I mean,
Most
my brain,
importantly, she flawed.
my brain does a thing that where if I see a thing and I'm like, why is that happening? My brain comes up with the quickest, most logical. Like, I was like, hey, how are bombs flying or how are bombs falling in space? And then I was like, oh, it must be magnetic or something. Like, my brain just does that, and like I don't have any control over it, but it gets me around a lot of plot holes. And
Yeah,
there's like,
'cause that's called 3 beers. Yeah.
No, but I mean,
I was
still,
sober
I
when I
still
saw the movie.
stand by that.
But
like,
I mean-
I still assume that there's magnets.
And I have to say that like Star Wars has never been science fiction; it's space opera. So to me, like the science behind the stuff not working has never bothered me.
Yeah. It's
It's about the characters, guys.
I support you not
It's
liking
lost.
it. It's fine. I kind of
No.
love how mad you are at it.
No,
It's
funny. I was just telling Travis before the show. I actually really liked the end. Like the last 10 minutes, I actually, except for the floating rocks, but Rey being too powerful. But whatever. But the Luke Skywalker stuff, I actually enjoyed.
Okay, good.
I
'Cause
think
I enjoyed
I think
that.
his death was actually a very important, crucial, and moving, and a good way of ending the movie.
Yeah.
I actually really liked that last. I had issues with their we're on Hoth again bullshit and some don't let Finn kill himself because that actually would have been a good character arc. Save him for love. Okay, that's terrible. But Luke Skywalker himself actually committing to the Force and saving it, that was good. Actually.
Did you enjoy Luke Skywalker throughout the movie?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
There was only maybe one or two things I thought were a little too quippy or weird, but in a weird way also made sense because he. Okay, so the character has shut himself off from the Force and secluded himself on this island intentionally.
Right.
So I'm okay with him being a little eccentric and weird because he's been alone. Well, first he stays alone, then all of a sudden there's caretakers and porgs, but that didn't exist in the first time. Whatever.
There's not porgs literally everywhere on that island.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Okay.
But the caretakers, they didn't mention that the first time. They actually said he was like in seclusion. But now there's caretakers there, so you were alone.
Well, for me,
Whatever. Take that outside. Take
Sure,
it outside.
sure.
Still, I appreciated that he had sought seclusion and became a little eccentric, and that was fun. I was totally okay with that. I was totally okay with the way he was interacting with Rey.
Yeah, thank you.
I was actually okay with Luke Skywalker the whole time.
well, and
All right,
like,
mate. Okay, so aside from individual things, turn the media a little farther. What did you guys think about the theme? Did the theme work?
What theme?
The theme was failure.
The theme,
and
the theme sounds like failure,
yeah,
only given the idea that I'm hearing. So.
No, I'll say that I've read a lot. I've read a lot about it after the fact, and like things like, well, okay, so this was a big one, and I wish I could remember. I mean, I'm sure I could pull it up, but there was a whole tweet thread that I read about like they were like the person was like I'm biracial, and so the idea of like purity of bloodlines is inherently problematic to me because it's like if you've got like no listen.
So why would that come into play?
Because of the idea that Rey was maybe like Skywalker's daughter or maybe like the idea that like this whole time it's been the story of the Skywalker family and this like pure Force bloodline or whatever like from this immaculate conception and all this other stuff.
Okay.
And so now they're starting to tell stories about like these other people that are maybe Force sensitive and like it's like the Force was never just like one family. There was always people that were sensitive in the Force, and like the idea that somebody like Rey, who's maybe from nowhere, maybe that was a misdirection, maybe she's actually
it's probably misdirection, unfortunately.
but whatever. But the point is that it doesn't necessarily have to be that like she might have just been born like a powerful Force sensitive person. I mean, like if you go back to the prequels, it's like there's so much of the prequels that I feel like are being forgiven in service of tearing down the last. People are like, this is so stupid. I'm like the first three prequels were fucking like I like a lot of them, a lot of the parts of them. I've only seen Attack of the Clones once, but I enjoyed it, and I think it's where we get hello there. No,
that comes from A New Hope, and it was a callback in Revenge of the Sith.
That's right.
Actually, Revenge of the Sith is okay.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is not bad. It has one of the best space battles, and that was the other thing too. Like I like this. Like,
yes, because when a ship shows up, you can start firing, not waiting half an hour to do nothing.
I see, but I mean, like issues of range. Like I can see that. Like because like impulse. But that's the thing. Like, and again, like I bring in some of my stuff from Star Wars too. Like impulse power is a constant. Like there's not a ship that has a faster impulse power than anything else. So if you're not going at hyperspeed, in the Star Wars universe, it stands to reason that all your ships are going to be governed by the physics of that universe. Which means if you're not in hyperspace, you're all going around the same speed. If you got a top speed. Fuel. I mean, like
Star Wars actually does not do that. Star Wars implicitly says certain classes of ships, even at sublight speeds, have different speed capabilities.
Well, and maneuverability and things like that. But I wouldn't.
No, speed capabilities.
Well, sure. I'm saying and maneuverability, but I don't think that like because a TIE fighter and an X-wing are far more maneuverable than a Star Destroyer. That makes sense.
Maneuverability is one thing. Speed's a different thing.
I'm not. contesting that. I don't know.
But you're saying no.
I'm saying both of those things are true.
Yeah.
So when you have something like that,
But I'm saying
Fighting 3.
But I'm saying Star Wars specifically says that's not true.
We should have been filming this.
Star Wars specifically says that a Star Destroyer and like a light cruiser have different top speeds, not necessarily
that makes
impulse
sense.
power.
But
Star Trek does have impulse
I'm not.
power.
I'm
being
just.
the same
I'm using that as a metaphor to say that.
I'm
Like,
saying you're wrong with your metaphor because they're different universes.
okay, you need. Okay, so I'm not saying, but I'm saying that there is a constant.
Fighting 3.
There's a constant top speed. There is a ship that is the fastest ship. Sure.
In which universe?
In the Star Wars universe. I'm not saying there isn't a ship that's faster than other ships. I'm saying I don't think it would be. It doesn't make sense that like if you've got a middle cruiser and a big Star Destroyer, like a Star Destroyer doesn't need to go fast. So it makes sense that there would be a smaller ship that is faster or can match it in speed. Now it would. I don't necessarily see. I mean, the Millennium Falcon not outran, but I mean, like, got away from. I mean, there's a lot of ships that have gotten away from Star Destroyers. That's not a new thing.
Yes.
And so being able to go at your cruising speed, and it's like, there's certain ships that can be overtaken by Star Destroyers, and there's certain ones that can't, and they were ones that could. Or like, we're matched. I'm just saying, as impulse power, like there's a top speed that's not light speed, and apparently neither of those ships could pass each other.
We're splitting again. Impulse power is a different universe. In Star Trek, impulse power is a constant, regardless of ship speed or size.
But there's a shuttlecraft that can't go faster than a starship at.
Yeah, but it can't go full impulse power.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm using it as a metaphor. I'm not saying the metaphor tracks like 100%. I'm just saying that like I'm using this as a method of explaining where I went with it. I was like, okay, so these two ships are matched in speed.
So it must have
doesn't
been
matter.
the flu, but I didn't think about ship speed during the entire viewing.
It never occurred to me. Yeah, it never occurred to me either. But it all came later when like everyone. That's all anybody could talk. Like, oh, they can't outrun them suddenly, or like they can't catch up. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, why not?
I thought it was more. One thing that I didn't understand hearing it from other people because I have not seen it. I've only heard the third party from everybody here at this table. Is the ability to track through hyperspace.
Okay.
And how
Right.
that seemed like that rule changed. I mean, I'm already not a big fan of the fact that they added fuel as a limitation for the case of plot.
Which has never existed before.
It would be okay if it was in 1 or 2 movies. It's just weird that it's the 8th movie and they bring it up.
As a major plot
9th
point,
movie, I
yeah.
guess technically, but fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's very specific. Yeah, major plot. Who cares? But the tracking thing seems really weird to me. It feels kind of out of place.
They mentioned it in Rogue
One.
Yeah.
It was Easter egg.
Yeah, she said she's going through. She's like something, hyperspace tracking, something. Here's the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
Like she says it out loud.
Okay,
So
I
somewhere
didn't know
in
that.
someone at Disney said, "Ooh, I've got it.
right.
Yeah.
Let's link our universes
Well-
together with Rogue One and this thing now."
Well, hyperspace tracking it has to be a thing in Rogue One specifically because it leads into. I mean, and
No,
again, like we were like,
no, it didn't exist. She was going through the archives trying to find Death Star plans.
Oh no!
and found
I mean, at the very end of
mon-
Rogue,
oh, there's
at the very end of Rogue One, it's the beginning of the chase from A New Hope.
Right.
No, so
So, and the only way you could do that is if you're
that's okay.
Because they jump to hyperspeed to
Right.
get away.
Because the thing about hyperspeed
Yeah,
is you're going from this distance to this distance as quickly as possible, and if you are not 100% sure about which way you're going, it's like
You'll go through a planet or
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
wait, or not even just going through a planet. Like if you're off by a fraction of a degree,
You're in a whole different solar system.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
got it.
But here's the thing,
yeah,
though. Here's
yeah.
the thing.
Triangles are very tiny, or angles of triangles are very tiny, and eventually they have to land
Tracking
somewhere.
existed in Star Wars, but not through hyperspace. They were able to find the signals once the ship was not in hyperspace anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. It's like that's
So-
that's already impossible.
Like, no, it just takes longer to send the signals back through subspace or whatever. But what they left out of New Hope is apparently the blockade runner there had to drop out of hyperspace, which enabled the Star Destroyer to find them and chase them
and then
down.
hyperspace into them.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Because also in the first New Hope, when the Millennium Falcon breaks out of Death Star, they even say, "Hey, you got the tracker on the Millennium Falcon?" They go, "Yeah, we did."
Well, and that's another thing
And
too.
they knew
okay.
once it left hyperspace, they could find it then.
That's
Okay,
another
so-
thing
so-
from
okay.
earlier stuff is like I remember in one of the movies like no shit that small is a cloaking device. So they brought up cloaking devices in the original
That's
trilogy.
true. That is very
So
true.
like we've never seen one, but cloaking devices exist in that universe. We just
because
never seen
when
one.
Han
That's
Solo
true.
latches the
He latches
Millennium
onto
Falcon
the-
to
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing, they've disappeared.
Yeah.
But again, part of my thing is I just don't. I don't watch.
I
Movies,
stand corrected on that one.
I don't watch movies super carefully. Like I go to a movie for the overall vibe and experience, and,
and
I just,
really stoned.
yeah. Well, typically when I don't fuck it up, it's a major fucking miscalculation on my part that
So
day.
one thing I really enjoyed about Last Jedi, and I'm curious about Dylan's opinion about it, is that I actually liked Adam Driver's character, Kylo Ren's motivations,
Yeah, no, I had no problem with Kylo Ren at all.
and where his end game, where it goes, was saying like his story arc and where the backstory that we are revealed about him, for him to say like, I hate the Empire, I hate the
Yeah, no,
rebellion, I hate the light and the dark side, I want it all gone.
Yeah.
I was like, I can finally empathize with this.
We talked about this before when we talked about the Force Awakens, that Kylo Ren's an angry teenager.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. It's the reason why he's so powerful.
And his story is I guess he's the newest Darth Vader as far as who has the most story arc. Well, Han Solo, I think, has the most story arc, but Darth Vader has the story arc a lot of point 1, point 2, redemption, whatever, failure.
Sure.
Kylo Ren is that character has the most interesting story right now.
Sure, but I
think they're doing a fine job with him, honestly. I'm
yeah.
okay with it.
And I like in juxtaposition, like you just mentioned about Darth Vader's arc, or Anakin's rather. I never could understand where you got from I'm trying to save Padme to Law and Order.
Yeah.
Let me fulfill the Empire now and kill all the Jedi. Like I didn't get that.
Right.
It was a
Yeah,
too
that didn't make any
was too
sense.
hard of a jump.
Right,
But this
right.
jump, I was like, this is totally natural.
Mm-hmm.
For everything you've explained, this is what the character actually would want now.
Yeah, and again, this is
Right.
why I started off the whole thing saying I walked out of the movie going, did I not like it or not? Because there are parts I think are really, really solid. I think Kylo Ren's solid.
You like the Luke stuff?
I love Luke stuff. I'm okay with Rey, but there's some things they could have done better. But I'm okay overall.
I don't have a problem with her being powerful. Like it's
No, neither do I.
Because
No.
like the two things, the two biggest other criticisms that I heard were like, "Hey, we've never seen Leia use the Force," which is bullshit because we've seen her use it in at least one, maybe two movies. Like, telekinesis or whatever.
yeah,
Like, and like you assume,
Well, she didn't use it actively.
well, but there's 35 years that have gone in the middle, so like you have to assume that like I feel like
That she was
like,
trained at
well,
some
they never
point?
showed us she used the Force. I'm like, they just did. Like you have to if she's out in space and she can pull herself back, the assumption has to be, hey, in these 3 decades she learned how to use the Force some, which
Well,
is totally reasonable.
I
Or
would say-
under duress, she called upon it.
or that
Yes.
sure,
Called
yeah,
upon
yeah,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
if,
I
you, if you
wasn't-
can disconnect from it,
Yeah.
maybe you can call upon it. Sure.
And I was okay with her using the Force, but I much would have rather had her not. It would have been a better.
It,
yeah.
it made more
Service
sense for her to
story.
die right then too.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
You know, like because she's not
But it also, I mean, like,
alive anymore.
it also has to be where Poe comes in and he's like, "Hey, you guys are fucked up," and she's like, "No, you're fucked up."
Yeah.
because he respects her.
Yeah.
So I get that,
But-
but,
but-
you could have done with any other
Yeah,
character.
but no,
really.
but for that scene, for Leia specifically, the bridge blows up. She didn't have to fly into space, use the Force. They could have just said she survived the bridge explosion and not done any of that.
Sure.
And it serves a purpose the same way. It's like, oh, she's in a coma now. Okay.
Right.
They did not need to introduce a thing that had never been seen before. That never comes back at all throughout the rest of the movie.
Right.
One plot point that I thought they could have used more about the tracking was I wanted Poe to be the tracking mechanism as his former stormtrooper. Like when they were like, "Oh, they're tracking us," they never revealed like what.
Oh, you mean
was.
Finn?
I wanted. Oh yes, Finn. I'm
Finn,
sorry.
yeah.
I wanted Finn to be the thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
be,
he
to be like the
yeah.
homing device.
Yes,
because he knew everything about
Oh.
I
everything
wanted
that was
him to
happening.
be because he was a stormtrooper.
And so like maybe
Now
they have
that would
they
make sense.
implanted
Implants.
something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that would have been a better service.
And so it would have been amazing because through Force Awakens and then this last movie, he is always running from problems.
Yeah.
So it would have been awesome if his
If he
arc would have
problems
been
find
like,
him.
I
He's-
am the
he's the
tracking
problem.
device. I am
Yeah.
going to run towards the danger.
and also
now.
would have been a
You
great,
know?
Right.
great
right,
way for him
right.
to kill himself, because that would have been a great character arc for that.
Right.
Not saved by the fat chick. Sorry,
Oh,
I believe in love.
She's. Have you seen her in real life? She's not fat. She's gorgeous. Not that it matters.
Not that, I mean, nothing to do with her weight, but yes, I completely agree with Dylan about the stopping Finn from killing himself to save everybody. That was a little
Yeah, that because actually it's a really nice scene. Like he's like committed. Like no, I've got to do this. I've got because to Nick's point. Like I've been fighting for too long. I'm running for too long. I've got to stand this. This is it. I'm going to end this. I'm going to save my friends. It would have been a great death for any character.
mean, clearly,
And also for the overall theme of the second movie there, failure. Everything fails all the time.
yeah.
It would have been a good for him. Well, of course, he failed in his attempt to kill himself or save his friends. But it also would have.
Too
So
soon.
is Last Jedi the movie for 2018?
Yeah.
Actually,
I think it is. Yeah.
But it would have led itself really, really nicely to the end of the movie being more solemn and like, okay, we lost, Finn, we lost this, Luke's dead, but it would have added to the weight of loss, and,
Sure.
and the rebellion is really nothing. It's Chewbacca and like 3 people now. That's it.
that's actually where it ends
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And that would have been better had Finn actually done something.
Sure.
Instead, we get to have him know everything about every technology in the universe again next time. For no reason.
Also-
because he was a janitor.
Okay, now that we're talking about problems that I had with the film, Benicio del Toro, why?
I get that. Oh, well, supposedly it was to show the opulence of
Yeah.
that place and juxtapose it against, like, for instance, where Rey grew up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, she comes from this desert planet where there's they're scrounging for scraps and, like, getting, like, little flecks of gold, like the fucking Rundown or something. And then here's this place where they're all, like, Space Vegas.
Do not speak badly about the.
Oh, no.
Literally never.
No.
You want to fight 3? We'll fight 3.
We're starting over. We're talking about rock movies now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's do 2 shows. We're talking about The Rock, the movie, and The Rock, the actor. Let's go.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Why can't The Rock be in the movie The Rock?
They're best.
Reboot.
Yeah. The soft sea boot.
Are you guys going to do an audio copyright on that or not? Can you?
We just did.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
no, it's on the
Thank
show,
God.
so yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's time for a break. Though.
I mean, we have to talk to our lawyer. Remember, you were drunk enough and you said you would be.
I concur.
and this is how legal counsel works now. There's a lawyer in the room, so technically this is privilege
Yep, yep.
If you're listening right now, this is privilege comfort.
You actually shouldn't be listening right now.
This is,
Technically, you need to turn it off.
Alexa, are you a spy?
Answer me. Let's take a break. Let's come back and do toasts. Bye-bye.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break like
Well, I don't like any of the movies now.
flipping on his deep groove. And the night's new, what a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock, we're here to rock you. It's like
Welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah! Yeah. Season 4. It's segment 4. This is the toast segment. Opportunity for us to round out anything we didn't talk about this week that we want to talk about. Nick, anything that you wanted to talk about this week that was on your mind? Well, I
will
want
say
to
that
give a
we
second
talked
for
to-
blood for sure.
We
But
definitely did talk about a lot of negative happenings and how bleak the outlook is. But I will tell you, so during December, I helped out and I was working at all the blood drives that we did at the malls. We were at Barton Creek Mall and Lakeline because it's really hard to book mobile drives while everyone's going on vacations.
Mall? What's that?
That's a place where people go shopping. That's not Amazon.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
oh, like the Amazon bookstore in the domain?
Yes.
I just saw that. It's weird.
Wait,
So
that's a real
anyway-
thing? Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyway.
We definitely are fortunate that the malls let us go in. So we set up inside the actual malls, and we
Oh,
were
cool.
in front of the Macy's at Lakeline, and people are donating.
How do you get
and,
a truck in there?
Well, we don't. So about half the mobile drives we book are on buses, but some of them are inside when a location has the room for us to put all the gear and stuff.
Sure.
And at the mall, we just set up inside. And I'll tell you, it's an incredibly inspiring experience to see people donate blood because it is a very selfless act. And
Yeah.
it's selfless in the way that you have no pretension about where that blood is going to be transfused.
Right.
So it's not about race, creed, or class or anything. You're just like, this
Yep.
is a good thing and I'm going to do it. And my
Yep.
favorite thing is when people walk up and they're like, what are you doing here? And we're like, oh, we're doing a blood drive. And they're like, I'll do it. You're like,
Yep.
you were just shopping. You had no intention of donating blood whatsoever.
Yep.
And now you're just going to do it. And yes, you do feel good about it. You do.
Yep.
Like inside,
Yep.
it makes you feel good.
Well, no.
Selfless. Yeah.
Let's be real. That dude was waiting for his wife to shop. He didn't want anything to do with her shopping. He's like, give blood? Sure. Why not?
Sure. Wi-Fi's dead. So,
I have an hour to kill. Yeah.
No, I like the sentiment. Is it okay for me to ask you how many units you get out of a donation or spot like inside the mall?
Oh, well, with this, and that's what I kind of want to correct earlier about feeling like we don't get enough blood per drive.
Right.
We have it down to an art about how many units we can possibly transfuse from people
Yeah.
because of the amount of staff we have and the hours we're there.
Okay.
So we're looking for at least 20 plus people to donate at a blood drive like that, where we're set up for 3 to 4 hours.
Right.
We do have school drives that are pulling 50 to 100 units, so 50 or 100 students are donating.
Good. Because
but there's
off
a
radio, we've talked about this, and
yeah.
it made me nervous that there's not enough people doing it because they just don't
Well,
know
I'll
they
tell
should
you,
be doing more.
if you showed up and there was an incredible, community response to a certain drive, you could overwhelm the staff that were there. You really could, because I mean, a donation process takes about 30 minutes total, from registering to background interviews to sitting and donating, and then recovery. So we have snacks and everything for people to sit around and make sure they're good to go.
Yep.
The whole process is 30 minutes. So that it's not like selling tacos, for example, Torchies or anything. Like, it's not just a one-shot deal. So it takes some time.
Okay.
So we do what we can with the time and staff that we have, and so we do set up smaller drives in which the expectation is like, let's see 20 people, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a success on our end.
Okay. Excellent. That's good. Thank you for the correction there,
Yeah.
and sorry for accidentally disparaging I didn't want to like gloom the idea.
I mean, they can always use more blood, I'm guessing.
And totally.
Right.
And like I said, we're open at those 3 centers, and people come in and book appointments and come in, and we can always use more. And we can always use more. If you just notice, you can go on our website too and see any mobile drives that might be set up near you.
What's that website?
weareblood.org. And people came to the mall and said, well, this is the closest y'all get to me. So I wait for this.
That's nice.
And they'll
That's
come
awesome.
to the mall.
That's awesome.
You said before that blood goes bad after a while, right?
Sure. It's got a shelf life of 42 days.
That's why you guys need to keep recruiting and getting more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
If you did it once, you need to do it more.
Not enough,
yeah.
Right.
People, you can donate every 56 days. So we have people that are religious about it that come and donate every 2 months, or we have interested companies and churches or communities that will set up a drive every 2 months for when everyone's eligible again.
Right.
But it's an incredibly important resource. Like you say, you can't just like freeze it forever and just keep it until you need it.
And that math is important too. Like if you were one unit, 42 days, but you can't give again for 56 days. Is that like what makes that? If you don't mind me asking, the limitation. Why 56 days?
Well, I mean, it probably has to do with your own body regenerating
Trying to
the amount
regenerate
of
the blood.
blood that you need.
It's just safer. Okay.
Yeah, and also we do certain tests about what we call hematocrit tests to ensure that your iron levels are proper to donate. Like, you probably wouldn't be at the right level if you're donating at any higher frequency than every 2 months.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is I'm probably going to donate at some point because he's going to like just look at me someday and I'm just be like, fine, I'll do it.
Oh, yeah, I'm frightened too, but I'm still going to do it to ERCOT, I guess.
I don't necessarily know that I have like desirable blood. I don't think
I have more
think,
alcohol than blood in my body.
Of course, you have more machine than man.
Well, alcohol.
Well, vampires have to drink something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Get a vampire drunk today. It's all that. Think of the vampires, 2018.
Well, that's the thing too. People would come at the mall and be like, "Well, I have to tell you," and I just want to tell you at the outset, like, I had a beer the night before, and I'm like, that is totally fine. So never we call it a deferral when you show up and you cannot donate. When you show up and you can't donate for any specific reason, and we say never self-defer. Come in and check it out. Because you'd be surprised. A lot of people ask questions about tattoos. If you got a tattoo in the state of Texas, you could donate that day.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's because we don't know regulations of all the different states. So we have to have some time pass if you get a tattoo in another state, things like that.
Okay, sure. Okay, sure. And also, that's like, would that be a screening thing too? Because you know that person's given plasma at some point. Because the plasma thing in Texas specifically was like, if you had a tattoo in the last 3 months, we can't take your plasma.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not the rules that we have.
Maybe it's changed since I was in college.
Yeah.
I was too depressed to give plasma that day.
That's back in the day when you were trying to get paid for it. So
Right.
like, I need beer money. Take my plasma.
Oh, no, I just needed food money at that time. Yeah.
And I will give a shout out to a different procedure that people donate. So you can donate red blood cells, which is what most people donate, but you can also donate platelets, which is the part of your blood that helps with clotting. And so you can imagine that many people who have been in accidents or are going through procedures because they have cancer would need platelets in specific. And it's a
I never
longer
thought of that,
process. It takes longer than 30 minutes, and you can actually donate every 10 days when you only donate platelets, because
Interesting.
when you're donating, they will take all the other components of your blood, your red blood cells and your plasma, and only take the platelets. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It's like you have a machine that filters it out,
Yeah. So like,
like a
every ti-
dialysis kind of thingy.
every time you donate,
That's weird. That's cool.
anybody who donates blood, it eventually comes back to us, and we centrifuge it to separate it into the usable components,
Right.
meaning your plasma, red blood cells, and your platelets. But when you donate, for example, at our mobile drives, we have a thing called an Alex machine, which allows you to donate only your red blood cells, and it'll centrifuge right then and there and give you everything else back. And it allows us to collect ostensibly more than 1 unit of red blood cells,
Cool.
but it takes longer. Yeah.
Sure. How much longer?
That one, it depends on your body weight and gender, actually, to use that machine.
Neat.
But it can be as much as an hour or more.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
It is. Is it just me, or is it like really sexy to hear him like confidently talking about all this crazy shit?
Hell yeah.
I'm just like, God damn! I didn't know you knew all this fucking shit. It's crazy.
Because how long have you been there?
2.5 months.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck?
So we all have boners right now. That's what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And The Last Jedi was good.
The confidence. Too much confidence. Too perfect. Too perfect. Just like your eyebrows.
it turns out they're twins, not sisters. That never happens.
Josh, what did we miss this week? You want to talk about?
Oh man. I have literally no idea. I mean, I mean, I feel like there was so many things that happened that in the last. What day is it? Is it the 16th?
Saturday.
No, today's the 13th.
13th. Yeah. I don't have any idea, obviously. But it's been like it's been like a whole year condensed into like 2 weeks, and it's like
That's called Fire and Fury, baby.
yeah, it's fucking exhausting. It's so fucking exhausting.
Fire and Fury.
That's fucking crazy. It's well, I mean that's the thing too. Like I said, I've been living on Twitter, and so like you can't like you
Constantly bombarded by everything.
if you get off of Twitter for like an hour, you miss ridiculous shit. Like
That's why I never go on Twitter.
it's
Ever.
It's fascinating though because there's so much information that you can get from all different parts of the world all the time, and I've tried really hard
Fake
to.
news.
No, yeah, sure, of course. I've tried really hard to like cultivate a lot of different like things that I wouldn't people that I wouldn't normally follow because
I applaud you for that.
I'm trying to get outside my fucking echo chamber, you know, and I follow a guy who's like very like who rails against like ableism, and I was just like I don't know what this is. Like I mean I know what it is, but like I don't know. Like he'll bring up specific problems with like movies or something. I'm like that's fucking interesting. I had no idea, and so I'm trying really fucking hard to like get to the fucking heart of what's going on in this fucking world, and failing pretty much constantly, but it's fascinating. And I think it's actually aged me
At least you're
several
trying.
years. Several years.
Well, speaking of age, when this episode drops, two of us at this table have a birthday.
That's true.
On
That's
the
true.
same goddamn day.
Y'all the same birthday?
Yeah.
January
I didn't
17th.
fucking know that.
Isn't that crazy?
Us and Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And
What?
Betty White.
Us and Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And Betty White.
That's
And
great.
And James Earl Jones.
And
And
apparently Thomas
Holy
Jefferson.
shit.
And no, Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin. Thomas
And
Jefferson.
unfortunately,
Kid Rock. Yeah.
No, that's listen, that's great, dude. He was born free.
You mean the next president?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
No, it's Senator.
No, that Senator Rock. Senator Rock.
Senator Rock.
Oh, and he could be on our rock show. We'll call it Rock Show.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, we got the rocks right
Yeah,
over
we
Look
got
at
there.
the rocks right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a
I got the rocks right here.
And we'll have The Rock be in that, too.
Yeah. No. Well, and like the greatest thing to happen last year was definitely the picture of Chris Rock, The Rock, and Kid Rock, and it was like, look at this crazy rock formation.
Was that real though?
How would you? I mean, like, why would you?
Photoshop?
I mean, but it's.
Why would you? Come on, this is the internet. Why would you do?
Yeah, but I feel
Why
like
would you not?
Yeah.
it looked just boring enough to be true.
fighting for market interest, okay? I have to make something.
Yeah.
I did not see that picture. So
It's the greatest thing to happen last year. There's not a lot of competition of good things last year, so it's pretty easy to win.
that's pretty much true.
Yeah, that's positive.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, happy birthday, Nick.
Thank you. Cheers.
Yep.
Hey. So, for my birthday, let me get the shot first off.
Okay.
I can't tell if this year is the year I say I'm 10 years older than I actually am, or 10 years younger than I actually am.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because if I said I'm 10 years younger, I go prematurely gray. If I say I'm 10 years older, you look really good for your age. Can't quite tell.
Older for sure.
But I think definitely not my real age anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got to be the wrong. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's healthy.
Yeah.
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 Well, figure it out, and we can talk it.
I still have most of my hair, so I'm fine. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Don't have this luscious locks of
It's absurd. I shouldn't have this much.
Well,
hair.
strong locks over here.
You look good for 75.
You do.
No, we said 10 years older.
No, you both do.
10 years older.
yeah.
85.
Old smoothie.
We're the golden girls over here.
Yeah.
Oh!
Betty White. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm definitely. Who would I be? Who would we be if we were the Golden Girls?
You be Blanche.
I am horny.
Yeah, you are. Jesus.
Yeah, it's not even a contest.
You
You're
just get
Blanche.
turned on by confidence now.
Confidence is sexy.
And blood.
Yeah. No. Blood knowledge.
Blood.
You are now about to witness the strength of blood knowledge. Which is funny because I think they were Crips.
What?
I think NWA weren't they? Because Dre fucks with Snoop, and Snoop's a Crip. So blood knowledge, street knowledge, not NWA. Sorry, never mind.
There's a picture. This is the best thing that happened in 2017.
I don't know. Rock there. I mean, Chris Rock there does not look like he's really there.
Actually, that picture cannot be from 2017. Based on the lack of gray hair in Chris Rock's head and lack of gray hair in The Rock's beard.
Well, on the phone is old as fuck.
Yeah, that's a BlackBerry Pearl.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
it was taken in 2017. I'm saying we were made aware of it in 2017.
People also used to use Blackberries. Sometimes still use Blackberries. I do like that The Rock is just so in awe around Chris Rock that he's doing the hover hand,
No, I think he's doing the.
the virgin hover hand.
no, I think he's doing the. I'm going to protect you from Kid Rock.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
No
okay.
Hep C for you, buddy. You're on my team.
This is Kid Rock literally looking at the two of them and saying, like, have you guys tried crystal meth? It's fucking great.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, there's a cover art.
Yeah, that's cover art. All right, we got to wrap this up. Nick, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Of course.
Always a pleasure. Josh, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
weareblood.org. And then where can we find you online, Josh?
I finally figured out how to make DJYoshifuerte.net. Just go right to my fucking Soundhouse page, so you don't have to remember that dumb Soundhouse audio bullshit. Just DJYoshifuerte.net because I'm not cool enough for .com.
Okay, and
It's
on
$2
Twitter,
cheaper.
And on Twitter at
Yoshi_Fuerte. I may change that underscore because it's Y,
sure. Yeah, marketing, man.
but not yet.
Design, balance.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me run the show, Dylan.
Of course.
If you like the show, you want to know more about the show, you go to drunkcastlive.com. It's drunkcastlive.com for ringtones and Pokemon codes. You can also get a newsletter that will tell you more about what we didn't talk about or things that we kind of approached that Chris Lloyd, our own Buds person, puts together. It's actually really nice. And please sign up for it. That's drunkcastlive.com/news. You can also go to donate page if you want to /donate if you want to throw us some money so we can continue to drink and maybe travel to your area if you tell us where the area is. Let me turn that off. If you can find us on facebook.com/drunkcastlive. We're at drunkcastlive on Twitter. We're drunkcastlive pics PICS on Instagram, iTunes and Google Play and Stitcher and any place where you can actually get podcasts. Just go pick up the podcast. iTunes most specifically, if you go there, you can actually go and give us a little rating and tell us what you like or hate about the show, and at least we know that you're listening. And especially if you want to tell us if you're listening or not, 802-359-SHOT, 802-359-7468. Leave a message, leave a voicemail, leave a text, and ask us a question or tell us what you hate or what you love about what we do, and we will respond in kind or never.
Any hate?
Or if you just... I don't have an actual address to send letters, but very close to that. Questions at drunkcastlive.com. Questions at drunkcastlive.com. Send us your questions. But I'm Travis. We love you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
We come to let you know what the deal is.
You invest in Bitcoin, you got creditors on you immediately.
Content pending.